Okay. Hello and hi. Can everyone hear me? Is everyone okay? I'm not peaking too bad, if at all. Hopefully not at all. Hi! I made it! It took 1,000 years, but I'm here. Nobody's ever done it as bad as me. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it sounds good. Okay. The music's not too loud. It's like perfect. Woo! Oh, awesome. Yeah. This was great. It was perfect. No one's ever done it better. I have spent the last 20 minutes crying and throwing up, but we're here. We did it. The panic stream. On the bright side, we're starting at the bottom. Because YouTube turned against me and I couldn't get it to work with OBS. They would not kiss. So I couldn't... I'm basically incoherent. I cannot tell you how much panic. Because I spent an hour and a half like yesterday trying to get everything up and running and working and... Hello, hi! Can everyone hear me? See me? Everything's good? You have said that. It's all fine already. No crying, no throwing up. It's too late. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So... yeah, so... but we're here. We're fine. We're okay. Everyone can see the screen. You can see the little PNG I've got at the bottom. I tried to make my own PNG tuber, but this is as far as I got, because I only made the thumbnail this morning. Because I'm so on top of everything all the time. Can you not tell? Ah. Awesome. Okay. Yes. So, I had a couple plans for today. Let me open things. Yes. So today we're just gonna sort of hang out, doodle, test the waters, because things have already gone catastrophically wrong, and I'm scared if I do anything more complex than just drawing for the rest of for the rest of our session, I might blow up my computer or something crazy. So, yeah. Yeah. So, thank you all for being here. I didn't think there'd be so many people watching. I actually did a sort of, we'll call it a test run last week on my Discord. If you don't know, I have a Discord. It is unfortunately just for patrons, but it is a very cool time and a very fun time, and everyone on there is way funnier than I am. So I did a test stream there, and I thought it went great because I didn't have to work with OBS and YouTube, clearly. And I thought, you know what I should do is do it on YouTube with a much bigger audience and no barriers for quality. That's not the right term, but anyway, we're here and nothing has been set on fire in the last 5 minutes, so I think we're in safe ground. Let me see if I can find my doodles, because there is something I do want to show before we start. Because this is nothing if not show and tell time for me. Oh, I hope you like the music, by the way. It's, yeah, this is my first stream ever. I am not a professional, I don't know what I'm doing. This is something that I'm hoping to be able to do a little bit more often, because I feel like I disappear for months at a time, and I would like to not do that as much. So yeah, in between videos I'm hoping to be able to do this maybe weekly, depending on time, life, how things work out. Yeah, it is much better than going through Discord, because like we had to like manufacture sort of like a stream format through Discord, which meant like people couldn't talk on the same audio channel I was in, and it was just all sort of like, it felt kind of it was manufactured, so it felt kind of fake, it felt kind of forced. So this is a lot more natural. It's YouTube streaming. It's I'm also, well, I've been hoping that maybe I can like dual stream on Twitch as well, but after today I think maybe we'll hold off on that for a little while. How do I do it? How do I do it? Oh, you're not talking to me. Okay. I am lost in the files, and I shall find them one day. Tala Doodles, there we go. Okay, so the last couple months, I have been doing, not quite daily, definitely not daily, maybe weekly more like, but I've just been doing a bunch of doodles of Tala. For a little while I was practicing like movement and like the body, anatomy and action lines and that. And for a while she was kind of the only body I could draw, which is very not great. But it was very cool for me to practice on her specifically. And so I just have this massive, 7 pages now of just doodles of her. And so I thought we could maybe do a little bit of that, and maybe polish up some stuff if we think it's worth it. This isn't going to be a super long stream. This is, again, also I'm still testing the waters, figuring out what I can do, what I can't do, how long I can go. Yeah, so I just wanted to sort of chat with everyone and just have a good time. Yeah. So anyway, yes, every character is just Tala in a different hat. These are all just Tala. So I can sort of cover myself with that one. Just like, no guys, you don't understand it. It's the same guy. It's the same girl. She's just in different outfits. But I can only do that for so long, because once I actually do start drawing characters, we're going to be having a hard time justifying that. Let's see what we got here. So, how is everyone doing? It is a Thursday night for me. Yeah, same face. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna see once I have to start drawing like action poses and that, they're all gonna morph into Tala's body type. But is that really so bad if you really think about it? Like, how bad is it if everyone looks like Tala? Surely I will not be complaining, because surely. Oh no! I'm so sorry you've been standing. What, is it for work? Are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need a chair? Yeah, Tala posting. Ooh, afternoon. Yeah, no, so I've sort of like figured out like roughly, okay, like EST time, I believe it's like 4 o'clock for you guys then. And then sort of like, I know this is when like a lot of other streamers sort of stream. So, not to step on their toes, but if I can sort of jump in and sort of time myself around that time, then it should be alright. Okay, let's see, hang on. Let me actually get this, let me actually get some drawing done. Yeah, time. Oh, standing desk. Okay, fair enough. Have you considered the sit-down desk? I highly recommend it. Okay. The comic is not done, unfortunately. I'm looking forward to it too. It is really, I don't know, it's been real slow going, just between life and day job, making videos as well. So it has kind of slowed it down, unfortunately, but I do have a short comic that's on the way, and I'm hoping that once that's done, I'll have enough sort of the concept, the art style, the structure of it nailed down, enough so that I can sort of set myself up on a bit of a production track, I guess, if that's the right language for it, and then be able to make stuff a lot quicker. Because I've redone it about twice now. First, like, I redid the roughs, and then I got a lot better at drawing action and drawing anatomy, and I went, actually, you know what, I can do better, and then I redid it again. So it is done in the rough, so I just need to polish it up properly. Yeah, Vincenzo is here, who is Vincent from the videos, which is very cool. I hope that's... Yeah. So you can thank him for all of the like hard science and stuff in the videos, because I run pretty much everything through him, and he gives me a lot of write-ups on how things work, like in the lithic videos specifically, because there was a lot of stuff that like I didn't know, and there's stuff that I missed, and so yeah, no, huge helping hand in pretty much every video that's been made in the last like year and a half, if not longer, probably longer. Definitely longer, so yeah, no, so thanks for being here. That's so cool. I'm really glad you liked the lithic video. It really did like go off in a surprisingly big way. I really didn't expect it, but I'm really glad that a lot of people enjoyed it. Specifically you. Yeah. Ooh, so the name for the comic is technically it's just called Immortal. Pretty on the nose, pretty short. We can technically change it still. At the moment, the only idea I have for the design of it is this, where we have the eye crossing through it. Because, you know, it's the hunter's eye, which is basically, you see it everywhere on the channel. It's unavoidable, you cannot escape. If you go back and look at the doodles, you'll see that I've done a lot of like design ideas on how it can sort of appear in the comics, specifically when associated with Tala and like around her. So yeah. Yeah, we love Vincent. Yeah, just a couple of ideas. Like I think one of them, maybe it's not, maybe it's in my physical sketchbook instead, but it's I did a version where it was like, they basically looked like glasses on her, which of course didn't really look that great. But I keep it as motivation for what I should not be doing. And here I am doing the details of the face before I even have the body down, as always. Thank you. Yeah, no, I really like the eye design. I think it's definitely one of the better ideas I've had, considering in some of my old comics, I didn't even have that much of like a motif to throw around, and this was kind of like the first one that came to mind, and I did really like it. So it's clearly stuck around, but I fear I've been overusing it a little bit, especially in like promotional material. Not that I've made that much promotional material, but all of it features the eye heavily. It's even in the PFP for the channel, so it's a... Yeah, it's definitely... I saw the announcement for Laws of the Stars, and it got me thinking about the... How did it go? It was like of the... And then it was like stars, but then it was done like that. And that's so interesting, because you can really only do that with like A's and O's. Is sort of replace it with anything, and as long as it's like a sort of generic roundish shape. Not even, this is a star shape, like it's as long as it works, and it can work with pretty much anything. The only other thing is like the eye in, well, the dot in the eye, is that often works with pretty much everything as well. I guess it's just the circle form, isn't it? You really can replace it with anything. Oh, this is just Photoshop. Sorry if I'm answering things a little bit delayed. There is a 6-second delay, and it's because I have it on low latency, which is a term I learned yesterday, so forgive me for sounding super professional. So, yeah, I can put it to super low next time, and then maybe have the stream sort of like be in real time, if it's a little bit annoying that I'm like answering things way after they've been asked. Yeah, so it is just Photoshop. And the brush I use, oh god, I bought it from a pack. I'll have to go and find it, and then I've adjusted it somewhat so that it's, this is the pencil 75%, and I think it's because I've set the little like, the roughage pattern, like that part here, where the, yeah, that part, I know there's a proper term for it, I can't remember it. So I've set it to 75% of what the size that it was originally, so that it fits in better. And I do all my line art with the with the line art pen, which is the exact same pen, but the softness is put down and then the grain is put even smaller, which is fun, I guess, if you care about that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, super proud of myself for doing the barest editing of like a brush that I have instead of just using all the base ones. Or the ones that I get and come in box. Nah, it's sorry, let me catch up with the chat. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I'm glad that the videos have been helping. That's always the goal. That's always been the goal. Just helping out. I'm definitely not a professional, but I've done my fair share of just like fun world building for the heck of it. And so I do kind of know like, hey, this is maybe like a pitfall. This might be cool to know. But yeah, if it helps, that's awesome. That's all I could ever hope for. Ooh, Far Cry Primal. I saw a lot of playthroughs of it when it first came out. Unfortunately, I'm not like super into survival games. Like I've played like the obvious ones. I've played, of course, like Minecraft, and I would die for a new Cyberpunk game. But other than that, I don't play nearly as much as I would like to. But I do know my way around a handful of games. Not to sell myself out or anything, but they announced a new Sims expansion pack this evening for me, a couple hours ago. So that's how you know where I'm at on a gamer level. But no, it's a cool game. I have no clue how much of it is realistic though, or when it's set exactly. So I don't know if it's a great basis for learning, like I don't know. I haven't played the game. I don't know. When I watched the playthroughs, it was long before I was doing any sort of research for Immortal. So again, it was I have no clue if it's historically accurate. That's the word I'm looking for. Ooh, how recent in history does Tala story? Hopefully to modern day, but that depends on whether we ever get there, because at the rate I'm going, we'll all be dead by that time. So I am hoping to pick up the pace in the near future. And that is a completely baseless hope, I hope you understand. There's some stuff I can do, but it's the reality of it is that I want to do things a lot faster. But yeah, no, hopefully we get up to modern day. I want to do a lot of storylines just working our way through the ages. There's going to be a lot of fun arcs to do set in the Neolithic, the Paleolithic to the Neolithic. But there is definitely a drawback to having the entire story, or even the majority of the story, set in that time period. So I do hope that we can maybe move a little bit faster as we go through, I think, maybe the third arc. Maybe. This is all very hypothetical, I hope you understand. Ooh, yeah, no. I'm sure they had to change a lot for Far Cry, just to fit with game dynamic. Game design, that's the word. Ooh, Neanderthal cannibals. Damn, now I can't use that one. Don't want to rip off Far Cry. That's cool. If it reminded you of Immortal, that could be quite helpful. Maybe, I don't know. I'll play it. Why not? Once I get the time. In a millennium. Cool mouse. Her reaction to the invention of the air fryer is crazy. I can't tell you. We'll have to find out together. Once I get the time. Hey, you can't call me out this early in the just because you're right. Yeah. No, the vibes of a prehistoric world is pretty fair. I mean, if it wasn't their intention to create a fully realistic experience, then no one should really hold them to that. Ooh, the Neolithic Revolution. I am gonna be honest, I have very, like, a baseline idea of, the violence involved in the Neolithic Revolution, but probably, I don't know, depending on when it is, it might overlap with the glacial maximum. 12,000, ooh, the beginning of the glacial maximum. Yeah, no, probably. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm making stuff up on the spot, sure. Yo, congrats! I don't know what that means. Platinum badge for clearing 750 hypercubes. Well done. 100%. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I imagine, just based off of what I know, no, that's more around the, it's hard to tell, depending on the Google result. I'm such a professional. Depending on the timestamp for the glacial maximum, and yeah, because that was the beginning of agriculture, it was the end of the Ice Age. Yeah, no, huge time of upheaval, really. Yeah, I haven't looked as much into the Neolithic as I would have liked, because I've been focusing on, let's say, 28,000 years in the past. Yeah, definitely something I need to look into.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be disappointed with how much I don't know without my scripts and like without the books in front of me. Because I learn a bunch of stuff, I write it all down, and then I forget it completely. And then I have to go back through them to catch myself up every time I need to add to it or include things to it. So it is, yeah, I really hope I don't disappoint you guys too bad. Etruscan boar vessel?
You know what? No. That's too late in history for me. Maybe. We'll have to actually get to the 600 to 500 BC range.
We're a long way off from that. Oh yeah, animal domestication especially.
I have the time for when dogs were domesticated around written down somewhere. And that's going to be at least a point of interest, if not like something we base a whole like plot point or story arc around.
Jeez, guys, lighten up. Strangulation was the most common method of execution.
Can I say these things on YouTube? Uh-oh. Good thing this isn't monetized.
Yeah. Ian Nazir? Probably. Just for the meme. People have been talking about that poor man for so long. She too will buy bad copper and be swindled out of a good deal. And I know exactly where to draw that rage from because I once bought I once bought really bad artisanal chocolate at a tourist trap a couple hours drive out from here, and I have never forgotten the pain and the anguish and the suffering that I experienced at the hands of those chocolatiers. So yeah, no, sure.
Speedrunning kidding. Yeah, I shouldn't read the comments out loud anymore, I don't think.
Ah, thanks, yeah.
I forget what platform I'm on.
We've seen worse. Hang on.
I shouldn't say that.
Let's see. I guess we can do that. It's not a very interesting place to put it on, though. I do have to, like, speed it up, though. We've been doing this for 40 minutes. I'm panicking for 40 minutes. Okay. Oh, absolutely. I hope that's a good point. Like if Tala's like, oh, Forrest Gump, who was like there for every historical event and like major figure. I don't think so, because this isn't Earth. This isn't set in our Earth. She's not going to be like meeting Napoleon and Cleopatra and, you know, doing kind of like a walk through history. She's not Miss Frizzle. She'll probably maybe meet like one or two important characters just so that we can sort of like say, hey, this guy was like super important for like building an empire or something like that. But I don't think she's going to be able to say that like, oh, I've met every important person in history, especially since that would be really tedious for you guys as the viewers, well, the readers, to keep up with. It's like, oh, I've met like 12 characters and 10 of them turned out to be like world leaders. Like that wouldn't be interesting after a certain amount of time, I don't feel. Or maybe not, I don't know. That's just my perspective on it. I have no idea what to do with her arm. She's fine. It's a neat artist trick where you just do that, and now you don't have to think about it anymore. Haha. Ooh, that's a good question. If Tala's to stay somewhat stationary and let the world evolve around her, or are you planning on making her travel around the world? Yes, and no. I want her to have a home base or a home area. And again, please understand when I talk about like my intentions, this might be stuff that happens, it might be stuff that doesn't happen. I just am, you know, this is my state of mind, this is what I'm thinking of right now. I do want her to have sort of a home base, like a home, not a home country, because the point that she's starting at is so far in the past that like the concept of countries is going to be so hard to define or put borders on or anything like that. Like she's in an area and people move through the areas, they move in and out of the areas. So to even call it like a home base or like a home country is not going to be easy to define even thousands of years after the Neolithic revolution and the settlement of, you know, most societies, like the establishment of agriculture and that. So yeah, she will have a home base eventually and sort of like a culture that we can sort of see grow as it rises and falls and changes and adapts to the times and the places and the factors around it. But you'll also be able to sort of branch off and see the larger world, because this is a world that's being built. More work for me. But it's going to be something that I want to show off to you guys as much as I want it to be something that she can explore. So yeah. A very in-depth answer with very little answering. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like vampire rules. It's you meet someone who seems like super insignificant at the time and it's like, oh no, the greatest philosopher of all history. No, Plato. Ooh, her origin story is secret for now. She does have one, but it's going to be the very first arc of the story, and it's something that I want to play rather close to the vest until it's out. Hopefully. Ooh, I actually read To Your Eternity way back in the day. I read up to the arc where they reached the modern era, and I absolutely loved it. It was... I feel worried saying this, but it was more or less the original inspiration for this idea of like, oh my god, you can actually write a story that goes throughout history and follows a single character. And of course, you know, that introduces the idea of like immortality and different types of immortality. And yeah, it was kind of the origin of my idea for Tala. But it originally branched off from the idea of me wanting to create a whole world from the very beginning, or as far into the as far back as I could, and start from like a beginning. So it was kind of like a mix of those two concepts that started off the story. I feel like I'm giving away far too much, but here we are. So yeah, no, To Your Eternity is like super cool. And Freerin has been on my watch list for ages and ages and ages. Ooh, is the supernatural a real thing? Yes. Kind of. Yes. 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 She met a wizard. Why not? Oh, the anime's caught up. Yeah, I watched the first episode of the anime and I knew it was going to be sad and I wanted to watch it with someone. And the person I was watching it got halfway through the first episode, realized it would be sad and was like, no thank you, sorry, I can't. And I just went, oh, that sucks, are you sure? And then I never carried it on, which is such a pity. I really do need to watch it. Yeah, she would look really different, which is a huge problem that we're sort of working through at the moment. She would look very different to modern Europeans, or like the modern people that will be living in like her homeland, let's say 40,000 years later, or even 35,000 years later. Would be super different. So we're working on that. Because it is a small, it's an error, and it would be a plot hole. Or at least a, what would you call it, an unrealistic part of the story. So I do want to see if I can maybe fix that or find a way to circumvent that. But yeah, no, something that I'm still thinking about. We're still thinking about. Yeah, no, it's an issue, sort of that drift. But it's something that can also be an interesting plot element if we let it go, if we play with the idea of it. Ooh, she is a can't... Should I say? I don't think I'll say. I think I'll leave that for now. I also think I'll leave the question, do you plan to have Tala meet other immortals? Because I don't know. That's undecided at this point. She could paint her skin whiter. No. Oh, it would. Oh, I don't know what the Cheddar Man's complexion was like. Let me look at that. Oh, interesting. Oh, with the blue eyes, that's gorgeous. Again, no clue. It's something that I'm currently sorting out, like right now. Hopefully it'll be a video in the near future, but it's, yeah, I don't want to say anything about it just now. So we're thinking about it, we're sorting it out. Will you have an Abraham analog later in the timeline to start the basis of a monotheistic religion with an all-powerful god as opposed to the limited polytheistic gods in other religions then? Yes, currently. And it is probably because you have to have at least, well, not have to, but for variation's sake, it would be interesting to have a story about, or at least have a element of monotheistic religions. Just out of interest. Yeah, dark skin, blue eyes, and wavy hair. Yeah, no, I looked at I just quickly googled the photos. So it's pretty interesting. So, let me see. Can you all see that? I hope so. So, yeah, very interesting. Because that's the thing, is I didn't know that when we started. So that was like a huge flaw in my knowledge, I suppose. Yeah, that I just didn't know about it when we started. So, well, when I started. So, yeah, it's it's kind of a major deal, but I am thinking through it, working through it. We'll figure something out. And if we don't, then you get to come here and make fun of me of like, haha, you didn't know, you fool. Ooh, how long have I been working on Tala's world for? technically, if you want to... I don't want to give a proper time, because it has technically been years, but I've had so many points where I've not done as much as I wanted to and not been able to keep up a pace of like amount of research. So even though I have been working on it for, I'm gonna say 2 years, since the start of the channel actually, even though I've been working on it for that long, I feel like I know so little, which is frustrating, extremely so. But I can't really, like, the time's already passed, I can't really beat myself up about it. I just have to kind of hope that I'll be better in the future. Mm. Mm. Yeah, Cheddar Man did wear textiles. Oh, he's... yeah. It's also my favorite image out of all the videos, which is just that one where they found Cheddar Man, and he's just sort of like lying crouched in a cave, just kind of looking at you. It is horrendously spooky. And I feel mean saying that, oddly enough, but yeah, it's a... What a way to find a skeleton. I don't know, did they arrange the skeleton like that after the fact, or is that how they found him? I always assume that's how they found him. Yeah, it is something I've had to kind of come to terms with, like, kind of X level. Thank you for bailing me out. There will always be gaps in knowledge. I think trying to make setting as accurate to reality as possible is a Sisyphean task, and I agree. It's something that I've had to come to terms with, because I really was in the beginning like, oh my god, I'm gonna get everything right, and it's all gonna be correct, and it's all gonna be scientifically accurate, and it's all gonna be amazing. And over time, even though I still, strive towards that ideal, it's super hard, and it's not really feasible. Unless you spend an ungodly amount of time on it. Maybe. I don't know. Again, I still have hopes. Mm. Immortal history since Tala is exploring history. Hell yeah. Why not? I don't know why I'm preserving the text doodles, but anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about the crowded mall. Can you ask them all to leave? Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, genes are complex. They really are. It's a hectic topic. But we shall figure it out. Again, I don't want to say anything. Okay. Oh, no, what do we do? Ah, I tried to save. Forgot I hadn't saved this yet. Uh-oh. Yeah, the bar for accuracy in Paleolithic and Neolithic media is pretty low. You are not incorrect. My pet peeve for a little while was the primal lifestyle sort of stuff, because it really does showcase, I suppose, the stereotype of it all. Yeah, it is kind of showcases how little people know. Another thing that really peeved me off was in the Lithic video. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this. Maybe I should. No, it's gonna open up a whole thing of worms. Never mind. But yeah. Paleo, they didn't fish, make bows, and live in caves. I don't know if you're. I'm not gonna comment on that. I would not want to speak as a. I wouldn't want to speak as a professional. Oh, is that what you meant? Okay, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. No. Yeah, no, the Neolithic and the Paleolithic, yeah. Yeah, no, the Paleo was when they did all that stuff. Howdy. Yeah. It's cool. Sorry you're in a mall. Sucks. Can always come back next time. There will be a next time. And it hopefully won't be a panic stream. Wouldn't that be fun? That's something to aspire to. Okay. For a majority of the Paleolithic era. I can't speak. They didn't have clothes, which is fine because they had a different way of working things out. Ooh, how often? I imagine I'll maybe do this once a week. Because I don't want it to be the only thing I do, if that makes sense. But I think once a week's a good time. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Ooh, the back in my day. She's gonna... I can imagine so many scenarios with it and just make it more ridiculous as you go. Oh, back in my day. I don't have these damn fences. We just let the animals graze wherever they liked. and then even that's like before her time. So I don't know, at what point do you grow out of like the back in my day stuff? Because like everything's back in her day. Ooh, tips on motivation. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to work super hard all the time. And I know that that maybe sounds a bit sus coming from me, especially since I've just admitted that I haven't done as much as I liked. But I find when I put more pressure on myself and feel like I'm constantly falling behind and there's, you know, it's I'm constantly failing. Surprise, it doesn't really help as a motivator. So if you're passionate about something and you enjoy working on it, you should preserve that passion. And if that means you take breaks when you feel you should be taking breaks, then that is absolutely something you should prioritize. Because ultimately how you're feeling and how you... the state of mind that you're in that current moment can dictate whether you do like a bunch of work and you feel really productive, or if you just feel awful and terrible and at the end of it you feel like I did nothing, it was a waste of time, it's not worth it. And I don't know, maybe you don't feel that way, because I can only really speak on my personal experience, but work when you feel like you want to, especially if it's just a hobby, especially if it's something that isn't dependent on your career or anything like that. It is ultimately a passion and it should stay that way. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's the best advice I could possibly give, especially at this point. You can't really grow out of the back in my day mentality. You know what? I have hope. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be eating my words when like people my age in, I'm gonna say 20 to 30 years, probably sooner, are going like, because you already see it nowadays, where it's like, you get like the skibbity kids. Bet you didn't think I'd talk about this. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, no, where there's people talking about like, oh, the internet wasn't like this back in my day. And by their day, they mean like 2012. And things were kind of that way in your day. It's just instead of, maybe not 2012, maybe I'm getting my dates wrong. Maybe it's more like 2015, 2016. But it was like the Vine era, the sort of like being raised on like internet quotes and memes and jokes and stuff. It's a lot faster now and it's a lot more chaotic now, don't get me wrong. Or at least it feels like it to me as an adult. But yeah, no, the back in my day stuff starts quick now. Ooh, nice. Meal prep. My favorite thing to do. I say that sarcastically, I really like cooking. No. Did they leave? Did I scare them all? You cannot escape the skibbity. I hope that's what we're leaving about, not Yay! Nah, get back into drawing. Do it. Why not? It's always there. It's so accessible, despite what the AI bros will say. I saw that trend. I'm a little bit too terminally online, unfortunately. I have made her too skinny. Haha! I fixed her. I shouldn't say fixed her, that sounds problematic. We're not gonna think about that. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, how good will Tala's memory be? Now that's spoilers. I can't say anything about that. Sorry. I need to actually think about these comments and what I'm going to answer before I read them out. I do like giving Tala the sort of like tube, like the equivalent of a tube top dress. Talk might also be pro. Oh, Tala. That's again. It's we're going so far back that there's very little real culture to go on. We have a lot of material culture. Well, not a lot. We have some. Enough to kind of paint maybe a picture, but we have no idea what the actual mindsets of the people who lived in that time period had. So they may have been pro-corporal punishment. They may have been totally, completely against the idea. Again, it's strange. We are, or at least I am, sort of working from my assumptions of what I think may have been the case. And again, we're dealing with so far in the past that, yeah, could have been completely different. And as much as I hate like adding stuff that I don't personally agree with to a culture that I'm writing, it is something that needs to be included, because it is a lot of cultures were problematic in history, and they probably didn't have things like safe spaces and blue hair. I don't know why that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think about accepting politics. Did any of what I just said make sense? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, so a big thing is that, yeah, they were very egalitarian. And there is the idea that they were... If they had a divide alongside gender, it would be a very different divide to what we imagine in our modern day. So it's like, it wouldn't have been so much like the woman pick the berries and the men go out hunting. It would have been a different divide. If there even was one. I don't know. None of us know, we weren't there. And I'm saying this very boldly. There could be a mountain of information I don't know. There could be papers and papers and papers of, you know, like actual archaeologists and anthropologists, like completely disproving everything I'm saying. Again, a lot of this is just my assumption of what I think might have happened based on the research that I've been able to access and have known about. I don't know what I don't know, so we're trying. I think the trout population will be fine. And no, I will not elaborate. Oh yeah, because that's the thing. Living 100 years is fantastic for a human being, and you listen to the people who've lived like good long lives, and it's tiring. It's tiring to be alive for the length of a human lifetime. So you times that by 10, that's 1,000 years. You've lived 10 lifetimes, and that's just 1,000 years. Tala's gonna be living a lot longer than that. So she starts in a very different place from where she ends, at least in the story that I have penned out at the moment. Ooh, matriarchies are interesting because they are rare, but they do exist. But again, they are rare, and there are a lot of... I don't want to say this and sound... How do I say this without sounding... There's a lot of matriarchies. No, there isn't. I'm sorry, I'm lying. There's... We have recorded evidence of successful matriarchies, and there are matriarchies that exist today. Patriarchies are a hell of a lot more common, and there is a perspective involved. Please answer. Please, I'm so sorry. I am floundering. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's something that I don't feel qualified to talk about, which is frustrating. Because I think about it a lot, but yeah. That's it as well. It's like you live so long. How is your mental health going to be after that much time? Probably not great, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, that's another thing. I haven't even like sort of approached the idea that she'll have kids. Because it's a whole other kettle of fish. The idea of like outliving family that you raised. Let alone a loved one. But we'll see. Because even if she does, it will be a form of a happily ever after. The tragedy comes when her story doesn't end once the happily after does. Not to imply that I'm not gonna say. Right, okay, thank you, Vincent. Yeah. Yeah. Happily ever after, but now it's after. I love that. I get a stupid amount of joy out of just like, oh, the tragedy, the drama. Oh, what will happen when insert tragic circumstance here and like twist of dramatic irony there. I try my hardest to put it in where I can, and when I find a way to like squeeze it in, I'm like, oh yes, yes, I've done it. I will ruin them. Ruin these characters. Nah. What have I done? There we go. Tolji? I read that as Tolkien at first. Is that elf existential exhaustion? Of course it's explored in... I'm gonna assume that's Tolkien. But of course it's explored in Tolkien. I haven't read the Silmarillion, unfortunately. I know, I'm a fake fan. Yeah, we love the expert panel. Thank you, Vincent. Everyone say thank you, Vincent. Yeah. Oh, I haven't read it, but there was that comic. I know the name of it, but it escapes me right now. The one with the blue man, the meme, he's on the moon. Forgive me for being ignorant. Yay! Thank you, Vincent. Ah, okay. Not the ice cream cone scene. Wait, hang on. Not too dramatic, is it?
Yeah, Watchman. Thank you for telling me. When were ice creams invented? Hang on, I gotta get law accurate clothing. It's gonna be like the 1910s or something, isn't it? Wait, no, ice cream cone. Ah, there we go. 1904! I got there. I was so right.
Off by a decade, but
What were they wearing in the 1904s? It's gonna give me a bunch of post-Victorian fancy lady wear. Yes, it is. I was correct.
why not? There we go.
Very unladylike of her, but we're not gonna think about that.
She does not care for your mortal fancies and behavior rules. Societal rules, there we go.
Ah, they were wearing a different corset around then, weren't they?
I know a little bit about like late Victorian fashion. I'm doing great. Thanks for coming. We are doing very important law work here. Aha! And then she's gotta have the hat. Should have it covering the eyes. That feels more dramatic. Flapper Tala. This is, I think, about 15 years early for flappers. And I'm saying that only knowing flappers were the 1920s. The 1904s were not the West, the Wild West. That came before. The Wild West was a surprisingly short period in human history, considering how like hugely popular it was. I still remember all the like the cowboy westerns my granddad used to watch. He still watches them. Most of them are free on YouTube, interestingly enough. That was a very bad slip up. Okay.
The hat is pinned in with hairpins. Next question.
She could have crossed the land bridge twice. Am I getting that correctly?
The one off Russia to North America, right?
Yeah, 1850s to 1899. So this is 1904, 5 years delayed. Maybe she never updated her fashion sense. That would be... I mean, hey, it moves so fast now. There you go. There we have it. Drama, intrigue,
truly the saddest moment of her life. Will she ever recover from this? Find out next time on Immortal Z.
That's a OSP joke, I should make that joke. Do you know OSP? You should watch them. They're great. Highly recommend. Ooh, what goes on in the Discord? Mostly memes. People chatting about like history. They're all much smarter and much funnier than I am. So if you like what I do, you'll love what they do. There's a great Bigfoot meme that comes around every time I mention anything.
Oh, yeah, I talked about it in a video. This Burning Strait. Again, like I said, I write things down, I promptly forget about them, I have to go back into my notes to find them. Another example of how I am not professional in the slightest. And you were a fool for assuming I was. This isn't my fault. Nope. Hi, Texamentium. I didn't see you there. Yes, the big one move. It's so cool to see you guys here. I'm super professional if you weren't here from the beginning. Don't question it, and definitely don't watch the record of the stream. I have no idea what it's called. Record? I barely knew about like streaming before I started this, by the way. I've been doing research on Twitch all week, which has been such a fun experience. And I know that sounds sarcastic, but I actually mean it quite genuinely. It's something to watch while I draw as well. Just to have on in the background, because it really is very slow paced. Because I didn't get the appeal of it for a very long time. And then I thought, hey, if this is something I kind of want to do, I should probably figure out what the appeal is. And then I did, I think, more or less. I'm just gonna... what else? I am taking recommendations because I'm out of ideas. I liked the ice cream one too much, and now I want to do more. Ooh, will Tala ever get a tattoo? That's interesting. 'Cause I don't know if it would fade. It probably would, because real tattoos fade over time, and if you give it enough time, it will fade. I don't know. That's super interesting. Huh. Yes, the VOD. Thank you, the VOD. I'm so glad I have you guys to correct me. With a 6 to 12 second delay. Ooh, there are things she would enjoy. I think she'd like jazz, which is a question that the Discord asked me ages and ages and ages ago. And I actually know a little bit about like, because I did a little bit of music theory way back when. So I went like, oh yeah, no. So like, because jazz is a deconstruction of like traditional music, and you know, she would probably find traditional music to be rather limiting. So yeah. She would probably enjoy it quite a bit more than traditional music, and by that point traditional would be like I'd say romantic Not romantic. It would be something post something. Again, like I said, I write things down, I forget them. That's my fallback whenever I forget the names of things. Eating a burger. Oh, hang on. Oh. I hope I can find this. This is very important to me that you see this. Will I ever find it? Did I throw it away? No. Is it in the frappe doodles? Yes! I made this so long ago and I never put it on the Discord or anything. So, in the same week, I tried a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks for the first time. And then I also tried the, okay, not in the same week, but like in the same sort of like period of time. I tried that, and then I also tried the shake, the purple shake, the McDonald's purple shake that kills you. And, and she's lactose intolerant. So I just sort of like just drew her dying. And I thought it was so funny. And then I never posted it anyway. So there you go. Exclusive view of Tala doing the Family Guy death pose. Just for you guys. Mm. She got yeah, the grimace shake. Once again, I forget the names of things. Ooh, Tala would have grown up around flutes. Oh, that's also something I wrote down. I have a tragic story to tell. So I moved a couple months ago for the second time in 8 months, and the first time went super smooth, and then the second time one of the boxes fell off the back of the truck, and it just happened to be the box that had all of my physical files and folders, and one of the files was the stuff that I had that all had like Tala stuff in it, and it's fine, like the information's fine, it's just it's got like tire tracks on it now. And the metal of the folder is so warped that I cannot get the paper out, so I'm gonna have to like cut it to get it back out again. So, so it's tragic, but it's been long enough that I can laugh about it. So, yay, and bizarre, and also fun. Mid to late 1940s. Because that's the thing, it's like, I have a very... Hang on, let me just shrink these so that they aren't in the way, instead of just like disappearing them entirely, because I don't want to keep them there. Can I just have a like 1940s reading a newspaper? I don't know how I can do the reaction to the atomic bomb. Yeah, great question. She is lactose intolerant. I talked about it in a short, but I don't blame you for not seeing it. Yeah, what was I saying? Anyway, so like outfits, as we reach closer to the modern day, it's like our last, I'm gonna say 150 years, more or less, are kind of defined by the clothing in a lot of different ways. So to show the passage of time and like this, hang on, let me put you down to 50. To sort of denote the passage of time, I feel like I should also have like the clothing move in that sort of direction. You know, you get your bowler hats, you get your suits, you get your ties, you get your fancy blouses and your synthetic materials, and I feel like it should be moving in that direction. But as I said, this is not Earth, and these are not like your worlds and countries and people that you know them. That
we have here and now. So I think just for the hell of it, I'm probably going to end up just sort of like doing that shift into the modern day anyway, but sort of try and give it my own little like bit of flavor. It's like it's still modern clothing, but it's informed by like the clothing of their history and like the styles, because I put a lot of work into those. And I would like if they could at least be a little bit present in the later chapters, because I do think if we don't end by the modern day, we're going to end a little bit into the future. So if we do ever get to the modern day, it'll definitely be at the very later end parts of the story. Gearing up towards the finale, we'll say. She's having the Oppenheimer stare. Hang on, I've got this. Yeah, no, I never watched the movie. I watched Barbie. I never watched Oppenheimer. I missed the duo double feature. I don't know, they don't look scared enough for me. He looks too... Okay, wait, hang on. How can I show this without just blasting my... Yeah, no. Oh no, it's... Oppenheimer's too serious is the problem. I feel like I'm actually making fun of tragedies. Which I get is the joke, it's edgy humor, but... I don't know, gang. Ooh, I have been watching Tanya the Evil, though, recently. I don't recommend it unless you watch a lot of anime, because it definitely has a lot of animeisms. But, well, not watching it, I've been rewatching it. I watched it way back in the day, when season 1 came out. She's gonna be too scared. This is too serious. I can't do that. Yeah, that's the thing as well. If you've lived your whole life in essentially the Stone Age, or at least, again, yeah, like you said, 4/5 of your life, would be pretty... It would feel like everything would be moving too fast. And while I do want to spend a lot of time focusing on that time, I feel like that idea that, like, everything's moving way too quickly, I feel like that wouldn't really leave her for the longest time, if ever. I don't know. I think exhaustion might be a fairly consistent, reoccurring issue. Just based off of, like, realistically how someone would be feeling in that time. Again, I don't know. I am still in the early days of Tala's life. Realistically. This is something I have an idea for. Sort of like earrings, not quite. Hooks. Because it feels like the idea of piercing one's ears is a fairly... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Because there's so many cultures that pierce parts of their body. But when I first started designing, like, okay, how would, like, things carry through in the modern era, which I did surprisingly quickly. I think I did that in the first week. Literally the first week of sort of, like, designing, like, outfits and ideas. So again, this is all subject to change. 1940s, pinstripe suits. Anyway, yeah, so she's got these sort of hook over earpieces and
They're
gold, probably. That's how I always pictured them, at least. Oh, that's another thing, yeah. Addicted to alcohol due to a lack of an enzyme we have in modern day. I'll have to look more into it. I have heard of that, but I'm not sure how credible it is. I will have to look into it. That would be depressing. Tala alcoholism arc. Yeah, she can grow her hair out for the 40s. It's a stressful time. No one can go to a barber. They've all been deployed. I don't know. I'm just saying things. Was it 8 years ago? Okay, maybe not when it just came out. Tanya the Evil, I mean. We are kind of being nasty to her. She'll be fine, guys. She'll always pick herself back up again. She has to. That is a threat. I don't know how newspapers work. It's folded paper, right? And it's just a lot of it. There will be a certain amount of wiseness that comes from her age and her perspective. That does, of course, hinge on the idea that I myself will be wise enough to write a wise character, so don't get your hopes up, but I'll certainly do my best. I feel like you have to, at a certain point, become quite enlightened after a certain amount of time. It would be weirder if you didn't. Yeah. Ooh, episodic. Not to start with, at the very least. Definitely at the moment I'm planning to have it be quite linear. But it would be interesting to hop sort of like back and forth. Because that's the thing. If the story goes on too long and you see so many characters come and go and the only constant is Tala, and you just see her getting hurt over and over and over again, there is a certain point where the audience becomes numb to that and they don't attach to any characters. They have a predisposition to just not let themselves identify with or just enjoy the presence of another character, because it's like, oh, how long are they going to be here for? An arc? Okay, cool. So it would be better, I think, by that point to focus more on the lives of those shorter-lived humans. So the story becomes less about Tala and more about the people around her. And you get to sort of look into these windows of their lives. And again, I'm talking about where my mind's at right now. Things might change. I feel like I have to give this disclaimer every 20 minutes. But yeah, I think it would be really interesting. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I thought it would be a good time to do the stream. It's right after the video comes out. I'm really glad it helped you. That's amazing to hear. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think she could probably not walk into a museum in the modern day without just feeling, just, you know, immediate psychic damage. They didn't have shoulder pads back in the 40s, did they? That was more of like an 80s thing. I say like I'm an expert. Ooh, that would be interesting to find out that there was so much even before her. I wonder if that would change her perspective on life. It's like, hey, you've been around for so long, but if you look at it in the perspective of the rest of Earth's history, it's only been a speck of time by comparison. Oh, I think that would screw her up. To have suffered through so much and seen so much, but around for everything, and then finding out that it was nothing. I think that would screw her up. I actually don't want to do that. That's maybe too far. That's a little bit too existential. I cannot draw sleeves. Don't look at them. Ooh, Warhammer 40k? Dante. That's cool. I like seeing how other people write immortal characters, definitely. Because it adds more fuel to my flames, but it's that's cool. I think Warhammer 40k has a very interesting approach. Like I don't know anything about it, but the little bits that I have heard about it seem incredibly
it seems to have such a good understanding of the in-depth realities of like how bad things can be. I don't know. I don't think I'm explaining that very well at all. Yeah, just the way that, because it discusses things like genocides. It discusses, oh god, I have to watch my language here again, hang on. It discusses a lot of stuff that's like very in-depth. I still can't. My language has been cut. I can't talk about it. It's good. I think it's really good. I like everything that I've heard about it. I also think I would probably like painting the minifigurines, but I don't have time or the money to buy and paint figurines, so it might have to be for me to get into in like my 40s. Oh, the comic starts back 45,000 years from present day, if I'm getting that. No, I'm not getting that right. No, it's 40,000 years from today. Right, because I used to mix it up with like, I would put like the BCE in there and then mess myself up. Again, it's all in the file. The file got run over. We're doing great, gang. Dinosaurs would blow her up? What? Oh, you mean the concept? I was imagining a drive-by situation, sorry. I have done such a terrible job. I cannot draw front-facing characters. This is a major flaw in my design. Don't let anyone see this. Only you can see this. No one can know that I can't draw characters facing forwards. Dead on. This is awful. I got the hat right and nothing else. It's fine. Ooh, 100 years I think is maybe too quick. 100 years, like, now. Like, if you look at the 1925 to today's 2025, definitely.
like super super alien. Like the concept of like the internet alone, I think would blow people's minds. But I don't know about 100 years, 40,000 years ago, or even 100 years, like 1,000 years ago. Like things weren't that different. Like styles would be different, I think, clothing wise. Again, I'm talking out of like nothing, but based on the little I know. It depends. It's what's that mean? I'll never remember it, never mind. Is 5 a lot? Depending. That one, I don't know. Starters. Astartes. I will not be pronouncing that right. That is a personal choice.
Oh, okay. Is it Astartes 1 to 5 or the Astartes phenomenon? Watched Astartes, huh? Nah. Oh, the TV miniseries from 2018. Is that
it? I knew dinosaurs were living, walking landmines. I knew it. I always thought so. You know what I'm drawing. There's a pose I can do for this. Hang on, there's a pose I can do for this. Hang on. I can't picture it. Quick, Google funny death poses. Ooh, that's also a good question. I think it would be super hard in like today's day and age to hide the fact that you're immortal, just with the fact that like there's so much surveillance, there's so much like information being kept about you online, like forget like the checks and balances of like IDs, birth certificates, like stuff, like everything would have to be faked. Like at a certain point you have to go like against the law to be able to survive because your existence is a sheer impossibility. And I think by that point, she'd have enough experience to get away with it, maybe. But it would get harder, and there is a very real chance that she would not be able to keep it up. Looking at it realistically, I don't know if that's going to be a plot point or not. Yeah. I don't know anything. Guys, I'm just the guy. I'm just making it. I don't know anything. Hi, welcome back. This is a T-Rex. It's exploding. Don't... It's fine. They're supposed to do that. Haven't you seen Prehistoric Planet in the documentaries? I can't think of the funny pose, so I'm just gonna... Whenever I need to draw something quickly, I just default to the little comic, like the little cartoony style I do in the videos. It's really good at getting things done quick. Sometimes. Unless I'm doing a massive, like, scene that's going to be shown for like 3 seconds on screen, and it's like got backgrounds and like foregrounds and everything. At the very beginning of the part 2 to the culture pyramid video, I had to draw like a bunch of like scenes and settings for like hypothetical like scenes and settings, environments. And I think it took me a whole day to do all of them. Which may not sound like a lot, but I was rushing to get that video out by that point because I'd not been doing enough work on it, and it was already like months behind what I was hoping I was hoping it would come out. So I was just stressing out trying to draw these scenes as quickly as possible. And I think you can definitely tell if you go back and look that there's like definitely spots where like I've messed up the coloring and the shading because I'm just going like so quickly, like it's fine, it looks okay enough. That's not even top. This is what happens when I try to talk and draw at the same time. There you go, now it's Tala. I was thinking about the Greek guy I drew for the gag. Because again, it was also done in that style. It's fine, don't think about it. Oh, non-avian dinosaurs did indeed I mean, listen, only the ones near Mexico. Wait, no, that was with the craters, right? Yeah, guys. Only on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. God, I can't believe you guys didn't know that. I can Google that. Okay. I can stop now. I don't think I need to be doing any of this. We really are just putting her in situations, aren't we? Wait, no. If you do this... See, now that's what she looked like when the Hindenburg crashed. See, we got 2 for 2. Exact same outfit, exact same pose. It's her unlucky suit. Yo, kangaroos. My god, you're right, there's so many humans outside. How did they all get there? There, I'm just... I was some giggling at myself. God, crazy, man. It's an epidemic. I've been getting really into zombie apocalypses recently. Like, I mean, I did it once before a couple of years back, but I got like really into it to the point that I was like trying to play Dying Light, the first one. I didn't get very far because I'm a coward, baby, and I do not like horror games at all because I cannot handle them. But I really like the concept of the zombie apocalypse. But I really like just very specific parts of it. I don't know, maybe Tala would have social anxiety. I mean, odds are she's only known like 100 people in her life from the very beginning. And afterwards, she would probably only know like handfuls of people at a time. I think city environments would probably really get to her. Which sucks, because I love cities. I love city environments. I love cyberpunk. I love cyberpunk settings, which is why I'm making a comic set 40,000 years in the past. Oh, really? The book? World War Z? Yeah, I saw the movie recommended to me on Netflix, and I considered it. But maybe I'll read the book first. That sounds cool. End goal cyberpunk. Well, that's what I meant when I said like the near future. I was like, hey, maybe I can sneak a cyberpunk setting in there at the very end. But we'll have to see. I think it might be more fitting for the themes and aesthetic of the series for it to end in the modern day, because the modern day is so far away from like this. So we'll see. That's what I suspected, for the movie to be like completely different from the book and also much worse. I'd rather experience the book and then maybe the movie. Good night. Speaking of, it's heading up to my bedtime too. It is unfortunately quite late. I don't know. I could start these earlier. I could maybe start them. I don't know. But we'll do one more and then we'll head to bed. I'll head to bed. You guys can keep doing what you're doing. Ooh, ever thought about doing a post-apocalyptic story where humans are biologically immortal and stop aging at their 20s and are in Stone Age conditions while dealing with dinosaurs? That would be a fun concept. A little bit out there. I don't think I'd know where to start. Because it's dealing with a lot. Do the dinosaurs explode is my question though. Good night. What would Tala think? Oh, cultural appropriation. Oh, just that's not the word. So offensive. Incredibly offensive. What do you mean they rode dinosaurs into work? The Flintstones. She would hate that.
She'd be so glad when the
when the studio gets bought out. Good night, Philosopher's Age. Arc the video game. Is that just Arc the video game?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Learning the different languages would suck. Mm-hmm. Hello. Tala just going on holiday. You're not wrong. I find I work much better in the winter, which it is now, funnily enough. my side of the map. So maybe that's why I'm doing all these fun new things like streaming. And then come summer you will not see me. I will go into the opposite of hibernation. Fun fact, did you know I forgot humans had arm hair? Like armpit hair? Like I forgot that was a thing. So a lot of the early art of Tala, like it's like in the Stone Age, well, Paleolithic, she just have like these perfectly clean, you know, like arms and like clean legs, and it's like I don't really know how to like portray like arm and leg hair in my style. So that's something I'm gonna have to like practice or just not include entirely. But for the longest time, I just completely forgot that was a thing because I've never in my life drawn human beings with armpit hair, which feels like a huge oversight. Like once I figured it out, like I realized it, I was like, oh my god, this is like crazy that this is like, how could this possibly be the case? But yeah, no, so I figured it out, and after that I've kind of made a point of like, hey, this is like normal. This is just people. That was around the point where I also started like trying to like figure out anatomy more, because I'm like, oh my god, this is something I've overlooked my whole life. What else have I been missing? So, so don't worry, guys. I saved us all the embarrassment of Tala with razors in 14,000 BC. Sorry, 38,000 BCE. Yeah, so the idea I have for the moment is that the world is going to be Earth, but not really. And you can actually see that in the, oh god, the first, don't watch it, do not watch it. It's so out of date, the art is terrible. I'm pretty sure I was recording it under a blanket holding my phone. Like that's where I recorded the audio. So it looks awful, sounds awful, but it is the first video I ever, like the first full-length, long-form video I ever made. And it's all about like the map that I developed for the world, because it isn't Earth. It's Earth, but not really. It's I can't believe it's not Earth. Flint does make decent razors, but why would they feel the need to shave? Those razor companies haven't gotten to them yet and convinced them it's necessary. I mean, for God's sake, your great-great-grandparents didn't. Sorry. Pardon my language, I didn't mean to say God. Sorry. I'm sounding very cynical all of a sudden, I'm sorry. The filter goes off after 12 AM. Oh, not clamshells. Could you imagine putting yourself through that sort of pain for no reason? Like logically no real reason? Well, maybe, I don't know. People who do like Brazilian waxes, so I guess it does happen. And people also do tattoos. So, who am I to say anything about anyone? say though, I draw Tala sleeping a lot. Because I think it just kind of calms me down. Don't ask me where the correlation to that is. You're probably right, hygiene and lice, but I feel like that would maybe also, that would include their heads as well. I don't know. I have a hard time justifying it to myself because even though it's so common nowadays, it didn't used to be for a very long time. I don't know. Maybe I will find a way to justify it to myself. But until then, you have to suffer. I am drawing I'm drawing armpit hair to make you suffer specifically. Hair keeps head warm. Nope. I do want to make Stone Age Tala different, both personality and looks wise. Although I have a hard time parting with the hairstyle, because especially like comics and stuff, that's kind of how you tell a lot of characters apart. Or maybe I've just been reading too much manga, because that's how I tell manga characters apart. Yeah. Not to sound like a pleb or anything. But yeah, no, I am hoping to differentiate them. Hopefully I'll be good enough at drawing body types by then, that you'll be able to tell it's her just by looking at her and her face and her body and the way she, maybe the way she poses herself, but I'm honestly not entirely sure if that's a skill level I'll ever be able to reach, if it even is possible to reach that. But we can try. Or at least give a different visual signifier to show that it is still her. Maybe I will let her get that tattoo. I do like this music. It is making me very sleepy though. Nope, that's the wrong way around. Oh, you're gonna... So, I've never done this before. I didn't want to spend hours putting together a playlist because I didn't know if I'd do it again. So this is literally just Spotify stream safe lo-fi by Dun, D-U-N, all small letters. Or honestly, you could probably just put it into the search bar, stream safe lo-fi. It is a 48-hour playlist, so I figured we'd be safe. bring up LGBT representation in the Stone Age, and it's not something I think I should maybe get into in the last minutes of the stream. But there is a lot of very interesting history there that shows that it may not be as recent a phenomenon as it is often presented as. And I will leave it at that. Again, I don't want to get too confrontational. Thanks, Corey Studios. Okay. Okay. Now, if I had more time, I'd probably clean up sort of the rugs and make it more of like an interesting silhouette. But at the moment, I think that's good enough. So, everyone, thank you sincerely for being here and for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed your time here, because I really enjoyed my time here. Tala is EP, and so am I. So I think we'll leave it here for today. Thank you all so much. With the disaster starting off and the sheer state of panic I was in a mere 2 hours ago, I am so incredibly glad that it worked out this way, and yeah, I thank you all for being here. Good night, everyone. Go. Cheers. Okay. Good night. Bye bye.